Well, hello. Today I will be making a soap that I'm really excited about. These are my melted oils. Oh, wait a minute. I need to put on my mask. It's very important to stay safe when you are dealing with lye. All right. So I have my lye water that I mixed a couple hours ago. I'm going to take temperature. Lye water is at 86 and the oils are at 128. They're quite warm. And that is because I was trying to get them to be clear so that I don't get false trace. So it's 128, that's 85, 86. I need to transfer the oils to a bigger container because the lye water is not going to fit on this one. I'm gonna switch spatulas because that one I don't like as much as this one. Alright, so I'm gonna try to get all of my oils. Today's soap, it's one that I'm excited about. It's a Sherlock Holmes inspired soap. I am a big fan of the character, and I think I've read all of the books or short stories that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote. Okay, so here we have the oils, and I did make a lot of the embeds out of soap dough ahead of hand. Wait a minute. I need to clean this up. Okay. And the actual body of this soap is going to be, it's not going to be too complicated because I will have a lot of embeds on top. So I want to keep it somewhat simple and still have it related to the theme. So I will be attempting to create like an abstract representation of the waterfalls on which he supposedly lost his life when the author wanted to stop writing about him. He decided to kill him in one of the stories, and that death happened at the, I really don't know how to pronounce them, something like Richard, or I really don't. I'm not even going to attempt, but I will put a picture of those waterfalls in here, which at the time that the book was written was one of the largest waterfalls, I believe. Nowadays it's not because they've done something to get water out of it. They've blocked it somehow. Okay, I'm gonna blend this until it reaches emulsion. Alright, so I've reached emulsion. I'm going to add the fragrance, and I'm using Sherlock Homie, of course, and it's going to be 4 ounces because I have close to 4 pounds of oils. So like I was saying, I'm gonna try to represent that waterfall where him and Professor Moriarty fought. Alright, so I'm going to split it, and I think it's gonna be 2 colors, maybe 3, I'm not sure now. One of it will represent the water, but I only want a little bit because most of the water in a waterfall, at least in the picture that I looked up, look white. Now this is a sample mica that the name has become gone, so I don't know what even it was. It was only about a teaspoon. No, like a quarter teaspoon, and then I added 1 teaspoon of kaolin clay. And in here I have 2 teaspoons of kaolin clay with water. So most of the waterfall is actually white just because of, the rapid movement of the waters. Now I need to figure out how much I need. This is the mold that I will be using, so let me eyeball it. Okay, I need more, but surprisingly not a whole lot more. And this will be the colors for like the rocks. And so I'm going for, I put here 2 teaspoons of, what was it? It was another clay that is great, bentonite. And there was about maybe a quarter of a teaspoon, maybe less, of activated charcoal to make it somewhat gray. And I may add some brown later, I'm not sure. I'm gonna see what it looks like, and depending on that I'll add more color or not. So for now I'm just gonna blend each color. And this is not looking very white, so I think I'm going to add some titanium dioxide, because I do want it to look somewhat white. I'm going to add about a teaspoon. Titanium dioxide does best if dispersed in water, but since I didn't prepare it ahead, I'm just gonna try to blend it as well as I can. Titanium dioxide is also known for causing glycerin rivers, which in my case I will not mind them because this is supposed to be water, so the glycerin rivers will actually go well with that. Okay, I'm adding a teaspoon of cocoa powder to give it a brownish color. Alright, I got my 3 colors, and now I'm going to add something. Don't laugh. This is soap dough that it's supposed to look like rocks once I cut into it. Right now, I know it doesn't look like rocks. It looks like something disgusting. I don't blame you. I think that myself. But instead of making small bowls, or ovals and not knowing where I'm going to cut the soap, if I have long shapes, I know that I'm going to get those shapes in the soap. I think I'm going to put the water first. Hold that for nothing. So I'm going to put, this is going to become lighter, and that's fine, because I'm going more for a white look in the water than blue. And my white is getting very thick. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit first, and now I'm going to add the rocks. Maybe I should have made them gray color. That's what I should have done. Why didn't I think of that before? Oh well. You live and learn. Okay, so these are some dividers that I'm going to use. Trying to clean them from lint. And the idea is to create the shape of the waterfall. And it's not long enough, so I think I'm just going to put it in the center. But first I'm going to add some more of the white in the middle. And then I'm going to put this in, creating some kind of like a triangle, like that. Alright, so I'm just going to put it in place for now. And what's going to go in here will be the white and the blue. And then on the edges, I will pour the brown, the grayish brown, which is supposed to be the rock formation. And you know what? I got some of the brown inside, but not a whole lot. So I think we're still good. Okay, I'm going to add now some of the blue. And then I will finish it off with more white. I think I needed more white and blue than I have. But actually that'll be fine. Because it's not like I'm trying to do an exact representation of it. Just an idea of it. So now that I have to pull them up, and I think I'm gonna pull one at a time at the same angle in which I had it, and the same with the other one. Let me move this out of the way, like that. Okay. So this is almost full. I'm gonna attempt to get rid of some bubbles that there might be. And now I'm going to use my swirling tool, and I'm going to go in the middle. Actually, I need to take a break. I think I got a little splash here. It feels tingling. I'm gonna go wash. Okay, I'm back. So the way that I want to, I'm gonna go in the middle, and then I'm going to go down and out, just like that. I'm gonna clean it up, and I'll do the same, down and to the side and up. And then I'm going to go down and just create some curves towards the bottom. I really have no idea what this is gonna look like. I'm hoping it will look nice. I just don't want it to be too straight. I want the water to look like it's going into the rock. And at the bottom, maybe create, this is almost all the way down, and I'm just going back and forth like in a C or inverted U shape. Just creating some swirls, hopefully, to represent the movement of the water. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up on the side. Hopefully that looks somewhat nice, and if not, at least I tried. Alright, now the top I'm going to cover entirely with the remaining soap that I have, which is the brownish color, because this is where all the embeds will be. And the embeds don't really have anything to do with the waterfall. They have to do with his life, his work, who he was, or I mean, just his traits. Alright, so this is what it looks like. We have the violin, the magnifying glass, the gun, the pipe, and in a couple of them, like on that one, that's supposed to be like a lab container, since he liked to experiment with things. Now the only thing you're not going to see now is I'm going to make some footprints, and I have made this with this boot or shoe, but I need to wait for this to get harder, but you'll see it on the final soap. Bye. So in this last picture you can see the footprints, which is something he was always paying attention to and following. And I did want it to look somewhat messy, because he was supposed to be an untidy person as far as his belongings. After 24 hours, I attempted to cut it and it was sticking to the side. I'm not sure why. Maybe I should have put sodium lactate. What is interesting is that that same day I did a different soap, same recipe, and that one was actually crumbling when I cut it towards the bottom, when I cut it with a knife. And the only difference between those two were the fragrance and the colors. So what I think happened is that the fragrance for the other soap, which was a grape soap, accelerated somewhat. It became warm and hard really fast, and that seemed to have a play on how easy it was to unmold it. And that's what it looks like inside. You can see now. I don't like it actually. This one end. On this one end, we don't see any of the waterfall, just the bottom part. So this is probably the bar that I'm gonna keep for myself. So I did cut some more from the middle that I do like better, because in the middle is where I had that section where the actual blue and white color were mixed. So later when I did cut it more from the middle, and I'm gonna have to clean up these bars some since they're so sticky on the sides. And on the middle you can see now more of the waterfall effect with the white and the blue and one rock. I did learn that if I'm going to do a rock effect, I have to put a lot more than just a couple, because they just look odd. It doesn't look natural. That is not, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not what I was envisioning. 3 days later, I decided to do a test of the soap, since this recipe is fairly new and I changed some percentages. So I was just testing it. The soap should actually get better as the water evaporates from it, supposedly. But so far, it seems to be bubbly enough, and I always use a scrubby in the shower. So I was also testing it with a scrubby to see what it looks like.